Alright, so we left off on the finger picking. So I'm going to walk through this part for you. So it's basically you start from the G, C, G, and then you come out of that G, so keep this note the entire time, the third string G note on the E string, third fret, and then on the bass part of it you're going to go, and you're doing that with your pinky finger, and on the bass part of it you're going B, C, B. Okay, you see how that goes together? Slide that down after you get the D. Okay. Okay, so you're gonna go slide this down and then hit A and third fret, A string open, and then third fret B string. And then you're going to hit the D string open again after that with the first fret of the E string. So. Sorry. And you're kind of hybrid picking, so these, your index and your thumb have the pick, and your pinky and your ring finger and your middle finger are doing the plucking. So that's that first part. So in between, when you go A string and B string, open A, third fret on the B, and then when you go back to the, before you go to hit the open E string, so on the bass you're just going, so okay, so this part is G note, and then you keep this because you landed on. Now this note is going to stay, and then you hammer it off after you do the. So G, A, E, and then you keep this for those three. Bam, bam, bam. And then after you hit the B, hammer off the F note to the E note. Okay, so this part is after you go C, this part is C, top note is C, and the B string note in C. Those are the two you're going to pluck. So, and then up to the D note on the B string while keeping the C. And then you're going to go to okay, so then you're going to go I'm sorry. So I was getting mixed up with this note. So when you go C, keep the C on the top, move up to the D note on the B string, and then you're gonna go down to the D string, second fret, E note, open E note on the E string. So those are two you're gonna pluck. So you're gonna go. So you go from the so if you go to the E notes, you hit the B string on the on the 1st fret. Come down from that. I'm sorry. Gonna go. Okay. So these. So if you go. So when you go down to this A note on the G string, hit the A string open. So then it's these 2 notes. So you go from the D, from the E to the D on the top. So where we're at so far is, I'm gonna do it slow. Stop right there. And then after you go, you're gonna hit this note again on the A minor that's been there. Then you switch to a B7 triad on the top right here. 2nd fret, 1st fret, 2nd fret. Then you're gonna strum the B note. You're gonna strum it up arpeggio. That's gonna be the bottom, main riff. And with the top, you're gonna go. You're gonna go. While he's going, though, on the bottom part. So it's kind of like playing the bass notes and the melody on this at the same time. This will get you a good practice for that, like Blackbird and all that. This song is another good one. So pluck the B and the B. When you go G string, F sharp, G string again, but pick this up and make it an open. So you're going to E minor. So. Yeah, that one right there. So. From the E minor to this little on the 4th and the 3rd on the G string, and then the B string, and then you're gonna fall into C sharp 7, and the same thing you kind of did for the B7, you're gonna do for the C sharp 7. Strum it, and then put you're gonna put that G sharp bass note on it. Okay. And then from the 2nd to the 3rd on the B string, kind of strum the F sharp minor, and then do the little riff. second to third on the B string. Back to C sharp minor 7. Back. So you go. So you have this little for the C sharp 7 and the F sharp minor and the A. But instead of going, you go on the A to go to the E. Now you're finally coming out of like the finger picking madness. So that last part is C sharp 7, F sharp minor, C sharp 7 to A to E. Second to third, and then open E. And then again, second to third, open E, and then the A that he does instead of, you can do this A, but he does the, put this note on it, it's the emphasis. Sorry, I messed up on that one. So you see how I go? I hit the E note before I hit the E chord. And I hit it again right after I hit it. Emphasize the bass note, kind of like that's the bottom, you know. Okay, so now we're out of that finger practice, and we're into this chord now, which is just the E7, and then you put your F sharp note on with your ring finger. A. This little major 7 is to 8. Get the bottom, and then just hammering on. On the second fret, G hammer off, D hammer off, back to the, again. And then just do the, on the second one, hold that instead of going like you did on the first one. So when you go into it, after the, this is the first one. This is the second one. And then into the winter rain, get into that chord. E7 sharp 9. I guess it would be E7 9. E9, I guess. Now you go kind of like a C sharp minor shape. If you do C sharp minor, take your ring finger off, or take your your middle finger off. It kind of starts with that chord, and then he hammers on the middle finger. So when he goes winter rain, now tell me why. See how it's off right there? Why? And then you go kind of hammer it on, arpeggio, or like strum it down, and then arpeggio it back up. So winter rain, now tell me why. Numbers fade. D, that, and then you walk down. But you're gonna do that in chords. So D major 7, and then take it, instead of going to D7, you just take it off and it becomes the open B. So, and then you strum the top of that before you go. You could go down to that. I feel like I hear Jerry go down to that, but Bob goes to this certain C#7 chord that we were doing earlier in the. So winter rain, now tell me why summer's fade, roses die. You can put it back on too, but you gotta emphasize that. That's the notes you want to emphasize. Summer's fade, roses die. The answer came. It's C#7, F# minor. Wind and rain. And that little. Golden hills. So repeat yourself. Now filled in gray. Summer leaves blow away. What remains? The wind and rain. E7, like a desert spring. So you put on, instead of just going to, you put on the E7. Like a desert spring, C# minor. A. Lover comes in G, spreads her wings. D. G. Do this little walk up into G every time. So when you go, like a desert spring, emphasize that bass note in there. Lover comes and spreads her wings. C+2, the loving in her eyes. So this is kind of to warm you up for what's to come. This C#, the C+2. It's like a C major, C minor, sus2. So you just bar the third, besides the top note. You could bar the top note, and then you have your ring finger and your pinky finger on the 5th fret, on the G, on the D, and the G. And then the B note is the sus2 note. You have that full bar, the C note. So that's the loving in her eyes. Your middle finger's just droning. Like a song that's born to soar the skies, flowing till all rivers all are dry. Loving in her eyes. Back to that first chord. Now you're just repeating yourself for what you did before. Jerry has a solo section on the slide right here. Just do the verse. Circle of songs and sands of time. Seasons will end, tumbled round. What remains, wind and rain. So this is verse again. And the E7, C# minor, like a desert spring, A. G. Comes and spreads her wings. like a song that's born to soar the sky. Rolling till the waters all are dry. C sus 2. The light in her eyes. And right here, instead of going back to, you're gonna go to B, and it's this variation of B, which is just the G inversion of B. Pinky on the 7th on the E string, ring finger on the 6th on the A string, and then you're doing the bar B on the 4th. D, G, E, D, G, B. So this little. And you go back, so you hit E, and then after you strum the E, you put on the F sharp note. And then at the very end, before you go back into the B, take it off. And then you can do this B, or you can do this B. Whatever your one we're most comfortable with. I've seen him do this though, most likely. And in that solo acoustic version he does, it goes with his voice, so I like to do that with the melody. You don't have to do that, but it's nice little fun. So this little variation too from this and this are the same chord. So it's like a G sharp minor 7 kind of shape right here, but it's also like an E. If you do this inversion of E, and you just leave that on as a chord. Now this is obsolete, so you just pick that up, putting the 9 on the E. So you can do that too for the. So okay, when he goes. We'll see summer come again. Darkness falls and seasons change. Happen every time. Same old thing. We'll see summer by and by. Sit in this for a second. And then when he goes, like a song that's born to soar the sky. Sky is A. Then you go to D. C sus 2. Arpeggio. You end in this E9 chord. When you go after the C sus 2, you slowly. And then on the album he just goes right into the. So if you're going right into it, into Let It Grow, right after that, a nice little segue to do is this chord instead of this one down here. This is if you're just going to finish it and not play anything after. I like to do that because it's like it's a resolve. This is kind of like has the suspense on it with the A when you strum it. And then the next chord in Let It Grow is A minor 7. You just slide this up and play the A string with it, and it becomes the A minor 7. So this kind of sets you up for Let It Grow if you ended on it, and the prelude on this chord right here. So like a song that's born to soar the sky. Okay, so I'm sorry, let me do that again. So like a song that's born to soar the sky. Sorry, I'm all lost, but to end this, you would go from the. how it kind of sets you up to go right into morning comes? If you kind of just hit this top note and then strum the chord. Then you finish with the, because that's when you're going to finish with it, instead of just going to finish if you're just playing the prelude by itself. I'm just going to teach the prelude by itself. I have a whole lesson on the Let It Grow if you want to go on my page and check it out, full lesson on it. One correction I did get in that, which I appreciate somebody telling me, is instead of E minor, B minor, G, E minor, and what shall we say, shall we call it by name? It's just E sus2, B major, G major, and then back to E sus2. I wanted to correct that because he's correct. I watched the live version of him and he's, what shall we say, shall we call it by name? Okay, so, and then you go, water bright as the sky from what you gain. Same thing, same 4 chords. Water bright as the sky from what you gain. Okay, so yeah, that's a little correction. Thank you for pointing that out, whoever that was. Thank you so much for making it so far in this video. Weather report's a tough one. I'm glad you can capture it. Let me know if you guys have any more requests. I'll be love to do them. Thanks so much for all the support, guys. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscription button. It means a lot. Way more to come. Thanks.